Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sportsbook Review. I'm just looking at the chat, and we've got our friends from Poland and from South Africa and all over the world watching on with us. So thank you very much for being here. I'm Martin Green, I'm your host today, and we have 3 Euro 2020 fixtures to preview. Delighted to have legendary handicappers Alex Classic Tips and Matt Lawrence alongside me. I'd just like to start, guys. I gave out some futures plays at the start of the last show based on popular demand from some of our viewers. Who do you think's going to win the tournament? I'm going for France, and I think England can reach the semi-finals. But interested to know what you guys think. Who do you reckon, Alex? Who have you got for the tournament?
Yeah, I want to go with an underdog, to be honest. I don't like the heavy favorites. I said to you yesterday, also in the first show, I would go with Italy or Belgium, to be honest. And another futures that, the only futures that I played is Romelu Lukaku to be top scorer of the competition. That's about it.
Like it. I've also got Italy as an outside bet. And for a real long shot, I'm quite interested in Denmark. Who are you going for, Matt? Who do you think is going to be lifting the trophy at the end of all this?
Yes. So a few months ago, I placed these wagers, and I went with France at 6-1 and Portugal at 14-1. I think that they're just two very experienced sides that know how to navigate through a knockout-style tournament. And the spines of both teams are just extremely quality. I mean, Conte and Pogba have never lost a match together when starting. So it's very hard to look past France. And then when you look at Portugal, you know, the past champions, they didn't even win a match in the last Euros and still were able to find a way to lift the title. And I think that this Portuguese side is much stronger than the last Euros Portuguese side. When you look at the likes of Jota, and now Ronaldo is maybe arguably the third or fourth best player on the team, which is kind of wild to me. So yeah, those two teams really have stuck out to me, and I've been sitting on those tickets for quite some time now.
Nice. And it's interesting that 5 years now that Portugal have had to wait to defend their crown. Back then, the likes of Pepe and Fonte were considered veterans, but they're still going strong. So's Ronaldo, but they've got Ruben Dias now, haven't they? Bruno Fernandes. Lots and lots of high-quality players have emerged through their ranks.
Pepe, what a crazy season for Pepe, eh?
No, he's had a great time of it. He's great time. It's going to be difficult for them to get out of their group, but if they can get out, the odds on them will surely plummet. Whoever gets out of that group of death, they'll be on opposite sides of the draw, could meet in the final. Be fascinating to see what's going to happen. But we've got some great games to analyse today. First, please, guys, little reminder, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell. You'll hear every time we're about to go live with all of our wonderful guests. We're covering baseball, basketball, football, UFC, all sorts of sports. Click on the link in the description, head on over to Sportsbook Review. You'll get a wealth of exciting content there. Picks, insights, sportsbook reviews, betting calculators, betting news, all sorts going on. So please visit the site and let's start breaking down the games. We've got a cracking game to start off with. Scotland, whose two best players are left backs, coming up the Czech Republic, who are a decent team, perhaps a bit underrated, but they've got some good players in their ranks. How do you see this one panning out, Alex?
Crazy first match for everything. Everyone thinks that Wales at home Scotland, at home should win this first game of the tournament. But on paper, the Czech Republic are still, if we are looking a bit at the odds, are still favorites to win it. Probably a lot of stuff will change till Monday, but let's say that not only the ones that you mentioned, but I really like Che Adams in that Scottish team. And I think that he is the player that can do the difference and score goals. Probably if we take him to be the top scorer of Scotland in this competition, that will be a winning bet. And also don't forget McTominay in set pieces, corners or free kicks from the left or right wing there. He's an athletic player. He's a very good at headers, so he can score a lot of goals too. On the other side, we have the Czech Republic, very, very interesting team with a couple of players who are playing for West Ham. That duo, Souček and Kufal on the right back. I think that they are creating some good connection between them as they play both in the same squad in the Premier League. I think that this will be one interesting match with a lot of goals. Let's not forget that Scotland beat Czech Republic 2 times in the last period of time, very close period of time. But let's not forget that the Czech Republic were full without players who had COVID at that time, both matches. So that is understandable. Now they have the full effective on the pitch, and it's a great match. I'm going again. I'm not touching the winners market here because anything might happen between these two sides. I'm going over 2 goals on the Asian handicap at 1.95 minus 105 in US odds. I think that easily we can see 2 goals. And why not? The both team to score seems like a pretty good option too.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Alex. I think staying away from the outrights on this game looks like a pretty sensible plan of action. This does look like the best Scotland team I've seen for a while, with McGinn and McTominay in that midfield. Just gave a shout out at the start to our viewers in Poland and South Africa. So just quickly continuing, we've got South Korea, Paraguay and Kenya, as well as all sorts of people from across the United States and Europe. Scotland, thank you very much all for joining us. And Rude Boy says I'm looking young, so thank you very much for that. Must be because I shaved today. Matt, what are you going for on this game?
So I think that Alex has a good idea here with playing the goals market. I think that this is a group that is somewhat underrated in terms of how many goals we could see. I think that some of the defenses in this group are just a bit shaky when you really take a look at them. But I think you guys really touched on some good points, and I think it's really hard to split these sides. Yes, Scotland did get the better of the Czech Republic, but with the COVID absences, I think that you can almost throw those results a bit out the window. So I've just played this one on the fence here. I'm going with the draw. I think that the bookmakers have indicated that this is a pretty likely outcome here. It's at 2-1, and I'm happy to take that. I think that both of these sides would accept a point here to start off their campaigns and be pretty happy with it. I know that this match is in Glasgow, and so that makes
it's a plus for Scotland. It's a plus for sure.
It's a huge
plus. It will be a lot of there will be a lot of fans in the stands for the first time in a while. So that I think that it can go good for some teams. It can go bad for some teams because the pressure that they have to absorb, it will be either positive, either negative. But normally, after missing 1 year, 1 season with no fans and getting a little bit weird, all this situation. And right now, with all these fans, it's difficult if you are not prepared, if you are not experienced at this level in such a difficult competition. After all, it might be a minus. But a lot of the players where they are playing at home in Russia, in Scotland, Italy, in Rome, a lot of them, I think that it will be a huge positivity for them for sure.
Absolutely. So I think that's a big bonus for Scotland, and they should really go and try and grab the full 3 points if they can here. But I don't see the Czech being able to, they're not just going to roll over here. So I think that this is like a 1-1, maybe even a 2-2. I think that this one could get kind of crazy. So yeah, I'm happy to be on the fence there with the draw on this one.
Also, I wanted to say to Thomas Soseko, France versus Germany, I think that we will cover that next week, at the beginning of next week. And I really like Barsaman's prop here on Che Adams over 1.5 shots at 2.3. As we know, he is shooting a lot. He's trying to hit the net from distance. So I think that that is a very good prop. And also Hungary low scoring team at plus 500. It's a decent set of odds, yeah.
Because they are in the group of death alongside Portugal, France and Germany, which does not augur well for a very good Hungary team, but they're probably the weakest in that very strong group. So I've also taken that bet. But yep, Alex is right. We're covering every single game of the Euros. So I promise you won't miss out on anything. Just continuing with this little theme, we've got viewers in Malawi. Hello. And Vegas. Possibly my favourite city in the world. Absolutely love Vegas. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us today. Next up, another really good game. And I said earlier, I'm afraid for any Slovakian fans, I've got Slovakia finishing bottom of this group. Poland need a win. Poland need a win in this opening game. What do we think, guys? Do we think they've got a very strong strike force, haven't they, with the incomparable Robert Lewandowski? Can he fire them to victory in this opening game, Matt?
I believe so. I believe that they've got this one circled. This is a humongous match for Poland here, and they really do need to pick on Slovakia, who are the weakest in this group, in my opinion. And I think that Poland have a little bit more quality and a pretty decent route here, actually, to finishing, maybe second in this group. I think a lot of people have them pegged at third behind Sweden, but if they can get off to 3 points here, and with some of the COVID issues that are going on right now in Spain's camp, in Sweden's camp, I think it could be a humongous boost for this Polish side. So they've got quality players and veteran players really everywhere. I mean, when you look at Glick in the back line, he is getting older. But I think that what they need to do is try and bounce back from their last tournament where they were extremely disappointing, Poland. And when you have the likes of Lewandowski, if you can just find the service for him, he's going to put it and slot it in the back of the net, maybe not just once here. So for me, I've gone with Poland in this one and under 4.5 goals, just because I do believe that Slovakia will be sitting back and trying to keep it tight for as long as possible. So it's a Martin classic for me at plus 100. Poland and under 4.5 goals. They've got to grab the 3 points here, in my opinion.
Love it, Matt. I love a Martin Classic bet, the win and the under 4.5 goals. What about you, Alex? Are you going for the Alex Classic bet of both teams to score an over 2.5 goals, or are you taking a different tack with this one?
As you guys mentioned, being in the same group with Spain and Sweden, two heavyweights in this group, it's all or nothing in this first match for both teams. If we are talking player by player, Poland by far have the better squad between the two. But Slovakia are not short of creativity at all. They did some impressive results lately. And I think that the pressure, I think that it will be more on the Polish side than on Slovakia. Slovakia are happy to be here. Every point counts for them. They will go all in. Probably they will sit in the first 20 minutes of the game, but they will take their chances. I think that they are very good on the break. I saw some of their matches, and I think that they can go and find the back of the net in this one. And I'm going, this is let's say the first not so conservative pick from all the picks that I gave till now on the SBR shows. Both teams to score at plus 120, so 2.2. But I believe that Poland will win. If you are brave enough to bet Poland to win and both teams to score, do it, because I really fancy the chances for this bet to be a winner. But absolutely, the Polish side should take the 3 points in this, because the fight for the second spot is between Poland and Sweden. That will be a very interesting match to see. Slovakia last in their group should be a lock for this group.
Yeah, as I say, I do think Slovakia will finish bottom of the group, which not a slight on Slovakia. They just have ended up in a very strong group. I expect Spain to win it, and I agree that Poland and Sweden are pretty evenly matched. So it's going to be vital for both of those teams to get the job done against Slovakia. If either of them loses against Slovakia, then they're in real trouble of going out before the knockout stage. I think that Lewandowski could just be the deciding factor in this game. He's just such a terrific striker. He's returned from injury just in time. And their approach should just be give the ball to Lewandowski, whip balls into the box, just feed him as much as possible throughout the game. I think they can scrape a narrow victory in that one. The next game.
The Lewandowski to be anytime goal scorer is huge at 2.04. And Barsaman and Dynamite on the chat are going with Poland over 1.5 total team goals, which I think that is a really good take also. But Lewandowski, anytime goal scorer at 2.05. In the Bundesliga, you would find him at 1.6 in the last 10 matches, you know, at 2.05 against a team, Slovakia. Let's be honest, they're not, we're not talking about Lewandowski playing against England or against whatever other team, you know. We're talking about Slovakia. Okay, they are good, but don't make them kings. So I think that there is pretty good chance for Lewandowski to be anytime goal scorer.
And he may not have the likes of Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Thomas Müller, and
true.
Kimmich, providing assists for him. But I also think he can get on the score sheet in this game. And when we reveal the picks, you will see that I have gone for Lewandowski anytime as my official play. Now, the next one, really interesting. Spain's preparations for this tournament have just been plunged into chaos. Captain Sergio Busquets has got COVID. He's had to go back home and into quarantine. That's far from ideal. Must say that Spain have an exceptionally strong midfield anyway. You know, Rodri, Pedri, Thiago Alcantara. They can make up for him in terms of technical ability, I guess. But in terms of leaders on the pitch, you know, there's no Sergio Ramos. Piqué's long since retired. You know, the all-dominant Spain team of a few years ago is gone, and it's going to be a reasonably difficult game for them. Sweden are a good team. I'm really interested to see how this one pans out, and I'm really interested to see what you guys think of it. So, what are you going for, Alex?
Very, very solid team, this Swedish side. Very athletic, very good at the back. It will be really hard for Spain to open the score sheet. But I think that once they will do, I think that it will rain with goals, even without the likes of Busquets, as you said. I personally think that Sergio Busquets' season was very poor, and I think that Thiago Alcantara is a great replacement right now in the starting 11 for Busquets. So I don't see any problem with that. Thank God that he's returned home. He's okay. Don't worry. He's not ill. Just COVID. It will pass. Everything will return back to normal for him. But to see players old in age in this Spain team one by one retiring, I think this is a sign of improving for the Spanish side. And I cannot wait to see them in Qatar 2022. I think that that will be the time that Spain will shine. I don't know if right now in this tournament they will go all the way. Probably they will have a deep tournament, but I think that they should probably win all their three matches in the group. On the other side, as I said, Sweden, if you score one against them, after that they will have to open up, and we know that Spain's tradition with tiki-taka continues also now. A little bit different, but not totally different. So they are fast, they are very creative, they can catch you very, very quick, they can open the gaps at your back. So I see this being at least 3 goals in the match, over 2.25 goals at minus 120. That means that if you see only 2 goals, it will be half loss, half push or void. It will be, if you see 3 goals, it will be a win. So again, another conservative bet from me here.
Nice one. Thanks, Alex. Yeah, I also think it was an inspired decision from Enrique to leave out Ramos. He just doesn't look fit. He
and
wasn't
all the problems right now that he has with Real Madrid. One time he's renewing his contract with Real. The other time he's not. Tomorrow, I don't know what will happen. So all this continuous stress that Sergio Ramos has it right now.
You don't want distractions bringing the team down. And Aymeric Laporte is a very, very strong defender. I would much rather have him in the team than Ramos right now. And Sweden, they don't have Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We had this big narrative about Ibra's coming back. He's returned to the fold. Then
Poor
he gets
him.
and he's out. I mean, Isak is a very good player anyway, so perhaps he won't be missed that much. What do you think, Matt? Do you think Ibrahimovic is going to be a big blow, or can they make up for it with Forsberg and Isak and a few other good players they got out there?
I don't think it's a humongous blow, but I know that they did just call Ibrahimovic just a couple days ago because Sweden had a COVID scare, and I guess that Ibra just is not. He's not fully ready yet, so he denied, coming back to the team, which was, disappointing because it makes a European Championship that much better if Zlatan Ibrahimovic is there. I think
to be honest, Matt, if he was coming to sit at least on the bench, it was a plus in my opinion for the squad.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not a negative to have someone like him. I mean, we saw him this season still being able to light it up at AC Milan. What he can do in the air, hold up play, it's still amazing, and he's about to turn 40. So he is, he's a generational player, and it will be a blow. But just I think that Sweden have already prepared for something like this without him. They've been going through qualifiers without him for years now. So I don't think that they, as a team will change, their setup or anything like that. I think they'll be ready to go. This one was a tricky match for me in general to call just because of some of the recent news that have been coming out of the camps. I think that you guys touched on. I think it's a brilliant boost for Luis Enrique to have Thiago Alcantara over Sergio Busquets. If Busquets was really going to start for Spain, I think that would be a huge mistake. His legs have been gone for quite some time now, and when you have a guy like Thiago Alcantara, he's the one guy that kind of reminds you of the old Spanish guard of the Xavis, the Iniestas, being able to really pick the passes and find the spaces for the forward players. So, this one, I could see this one being pretty tight. I think that Sweden will be able to hold on for quite some time. And right now, as of today, I think the best look would be for a halftime draw in this one. Those come in quite some time, quite a lot really, in terms of, championship cups like this. And I think that this one, at around plus 120 for a halftime draw, that looks pretty good to me.
Mitch is saying Zlatan does not accept invites to Sweden. Zlatan is Sweden, and also let's say hello to our friend also and very good friend Sean MCK. Dynamite, I don't know, Sweden +1 Asian handicap. Half time is at plus money. If that's so, is huge. But I think that you're talking about a full time. And also Anna B is saying Poland couldn't win a game against Iceland. That was a friendly match. Let's not even talk about it because all these teams that are participating right now to Euro 2020, because it's still 2020, even though they're playing in 2021, made some great preparation and rotated a lot of squad players from the bench and everything. They didn't put it 100% of their effort into that. And at the end of the day, Iceland are not a bad team.
Well, Anna B is Polish, and she's going to be cheering on her team, and she really hopes they're going to win. But yeah, she's a bit underwhelmed by what she's seen from them in recent years. So we hope, Anna, that Poland turn up in a big tournament and put in the sort of performance that their passionate fans deserve. We have got Belgium versus Russia up there to the right, but we've already covered that game. We all went for Belgium. That's taking place at a different day, so there's no need for that. Esteban, could you please bring up the picks and I'll read them out? Okay, official picks. Alex, he's going for over 2 goals, Asian line, Scotland versus Czech Republic. He's going for both teams to score in that Poland versus Slovakia game at plus 120. And he's got over 2.25 Asian handicap goals at minus 120 in the Spain versus Sweden game. So he really hopes that it's going to be 3 or more in that one. Matt's going all out. He's just going for the draw in the Scotland versus Czech Republic match. He's got Poland and under 4.5 goals at plus 100 in their game. And he's just leaving that Spain versus Sweden game alone. If you don't like anything, just pass. Nothing wrong with passing. You can't lose money if you pass. I'm going for both teams to score as well in that Scotland versus Czech Republic game. I've got plus 115 on that. Straight win for Poland at minus 119. Just think it's imperative that they beat Slovakia in this one. And I got plus 105 on Lewandowski to score. Just looks brilliant to me. I'm going for Sweden plus 1 on the Asian handicap at plus 115 for their game. I just think if they do lose, it could be by a single goal. I think they've got a good team, and I'm not so sure about Spain's strikers. I'm really hoping to see Moreno up front because he's quality. Not that sure about Morata. I think they've got a good midfield, but I still think they're a little bit suspect in certain positions. So I think Sweden can give a good account of themselves in that game. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks very much for watching. Chat's been great. I love just how many people from all over the world with us.
And Esteban has some fans there. Mitch and Winston, they are cheering on Esteban there.
Esteban. I'm Esteban. We're all Esteban. We're all Esteban fans. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Just to reiterate, thumbs up, notification bell, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Head on over to Sportsbook Review too for all the picks, all the insight, articles from the likes of Alex, Tan, all the great handicappers that we've got there. Lots of free content designed to maximize your chances of earning a profit while betting on sports. We'll be back next week to cover all the games with Alex, with Matt, with Tan, with George, with all of our friends. And we look forward to seeing you all there. Have a great weekend. Goodbye and good luck.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thanks, Martin.